Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and in this video today we've got a very special guest joining us, Aimee Dawn, and she is a medical professional and been at it for quite some time. You've got a bachelor's in your medical field too, don't you?
Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and I have my registered nursing license.
So we're going to get some very good information from her today about some medical preps that everyone should have put back, and we're going to put everything that's talked about on the list today in the description in the bottom of the video. So let's take a look at it now.
As Lucas said, my name is Aimee Dawn and I am a medical professional. I'm a registered nurse and I've been going at this several years, so I've got plenty of experience. I've worked in and out of hospitals as well as other facilities. He had asked me for prepping to prepare a list of things that may be used in the household for emergencies. This can be for Seven Trumpets prepping or just prepping, period. This is not a complete list of everything that you're going to need, but it is a list of things that can help in any emergency.
And we'll also put this in the description at the bottom of the video.
Alright, to start off with, it never hurts to have some medical books. This is the Cornell Illustrated Emergency Medicine and First Aid Guide. This is actually a pretty helpful book. It goes into all kinds of syndromes like chest pains, cardiovascular disease, just all different kinds of things in this book, and it's actually really helpful to have around. This is a prescription drug and alternative uses, alternative cures book. So let's say that you wanted to look up anything in here, you can look up the drug in the back and the alternative uses for that drug or alternative medicines instead of having just the drugs. As far as our list goes, at the top of the list is ibuprofen. It's a painkiller, plus it can aid in reducing temperatures. We also have some aspirin that can aid with heart attacks, strokes. Maxi pads. Even if you're not a woman, you can use maxi pads for other things, but they are kind of helpful to have around. They can be used as dressings too. Band-aids, gauze. We actually have some gauze up here. You always need this in case of an emergency. You never know when you're going to get a scrape or, a cut, some kind of wound. Medical tape, you do need that to help dress your gauze, or some kind of tegaderm. Blood pressure cuffs and stethoscopes are good to have around. This was my trusty stethoscope that I had while I was in nursing school, and it's still holding up today. Battery and a glass thermometer. It never hurts to have both, because once the battery goes dead and the battery thermometer, then you're going to have a backup of some sort. Batteries don't last forever. Tweezers. How often have we all had to use tweezers for something? It's not for hair removal. You can actually get glass out of fingertips, what have you. Alcohol and peroxide are wonderful, absolutely wonderful to have around. But note that they are not to be used to clean wounds with. It is best to clean wounds with sterile saline and betadine. So those can actually help, instead of where alcohol and peroxide can dehydrate and actually infect wounds worse. Saline's next on the list. It's wonderful for cleansing wounds. Hand sanitizer, we actually have some up here. As far as hand sanitizing, it's actually really important. Did you know that 80% of all infectious diseases are spread by touch? So if you cough into your hands, you sneeze, whatever, you're going to be touching stuff, touching desks, touching doorknobs. you're going to be spreading those germs to other people. And before you know it, they're going to be up touching things, then they're going to be scratching their nose or touching around their mouth, just sitting listening. And they don't even realize they're doing it, and before you know it, it goes from here to whatever object you touch, then back to the mouth, and that's how it's introduced into the body. So it's something that you have to be very, very mindful of, and practicing good hand sanitization and good hand hygiene is of utmost importance. It can help prevent a lot of spread of infection, can it, Nick?
Yes, and you need to make sure you have antibiotics for if you do catch an infection. That way they don't get full blown and get everybody in your MAG group sick.
That's a good point. Next on the list, we have gloves. We have a box of surgical gloves here. You can actually buy these at Walmart. These are the latex free because some people do have latex allergies. And you never know when you're going to have to touch something or pick something up that you actually don't want your hands touching. It's best to have gloves for, especially any blood-borne pathogens that may be spread from bodily fluids. Respirator masks. They're good, especially for respiratory infections. That's one of the number one killers of elderly is just upper respiratory infections and the flu. That's why, there's flu and pneumonia vaccines every year at specific times. ACE wraps, Aleve, Benadryl, and Tylenol. They're all wonderful medications that can help prep-wise. Tums. They are full of calcium. They can actually be your daily supply of calcium as well as an antacid. Mouthwash, toothbrush, and toothpaste, of course. We also have a little dental supply kit up here.
Or part of it anyways.
And,
bare necessities.
You never know when you're going to need to clean your mouth, because that's of the utmost importance. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Floss. It can be used for more than just flossing your teeth. It can be used for other activities as well. Neosporin. You don't have to actually get Neosporin. You can get some of the over-the-counter stuff. This is Family Care First Aid Antibiotic Plus Topical Pain Reliever. This is just as good as Neosporin. You don't have to buy all the fancy brand names. Cotton balls and swabs. Vitamin C tablets, some kind of vitamin C supplements. That's vitamin E. Vitamin C is needed because you're not going to have all the fresh fruits and vegetable supply that you may need all the time. And of course, we're here in Tennessee. Florida, oranges. We don't have oranges here. And oranges are a good source of vitamin C. Vitamin C actually will help prevent scurvy, because that's the last thing you want is to have some scurvy going on. Alright, calcium. We talked about that earlier. Insect repellents. Very, very important, because the little bites, scrapes, anything like that from insects or snakes or whatever. And next is snake bite kit, antivenom kit. You can get those at Walmart.
In the Campton section.
Mm-hmm.
And very cheap too.
Yes, very cheap. Bullets of clothes that you can actually get from Walmart. Just the whole cloth tablet. That way you can rip off the strips that you need and use those for clothing or dressings, what have you. Shampoo and soaps. It's good to stock up, have a good supply. Laundry detergents or supplies to at least make your own. Anti-bug and anti-lice kits. You never know when the slightest little thing is going to happen, and children do carry some funky bugs sometimes, so you never know when you're going to need it.
So if you have kids in your MAG group, make sure that you have at least a couple of those.
And plus, if a stranger comes in, you never know what they have either, so you have to be prepared for any situation. Chapstick, Vaseline, Lysol, it's wonderful to have. Pen and paper. You never know when you just need to write down your thoughts, because actually that can be a great stress reliever too. Sunblock. I think Nikki and I speak enough for the sunblock. I mean, it's going to happen. You're going to have burns as much as you're going to be outside working in fields and trying to get all your stuff done. Make sure all the crops are tended to. Sunglasses, again, with the sun protection. Nobody needs skin cancer. aloe vera for burns, in case someone is burned.
In case they forgot the sunblock.
Hair clippers and scissors for personal hygiene. Deodorants, big must. Baking soda, fingernail clippers and fingernail files. Fingernails are the germiest parts of the body. You have to be able to cut those. One of the rules of thumb is if you hold your hand up like this and you look above, if you can see your fingertips, your fingernails, then you have a problem. You need to go ahead and cut those because they're beginning to be on the unsanitary levels. So if you can see your fingernails right here above your fingertips, then you need to at least be cutting them or doing something. Let's see. Poison ivy, you definitely need to be preparing for that. You never know when kids are going to be getting into weeds. Preparation H, hate to say it, but not everybody is bowel prepared, so to speak. There's going to be people that have severe stomach issues. Like myself, I have Crohn's disease, so, you know, there's just things that you have to prepare for. And we actually have some stuff up here. For those of the people in the group, they may have stomach problems. Laxatives, mag citrate. This is actually a natural laxative. It's for constipation, so both of these can aid in that. Pepto-Bismol and the antidiarrheals, they can actually stop diarrhea. So those do need to at least be prepared for because it's going to happen. We all have had upset stomachs. Towelettes, you can get moist towelettes because who knows about your water supply. You may need to towel off with something. Try to wash with something. Make sure you have a great supply of water. Fungal creams. Guys, you know you get athlete's feet. Don't even pretend you don't. And especially when you're going to be working outside doing all kinds of outside activities, you're going to be sweating. And that's going to exacerbate fungal problems.
That or foot powder too to kind of prevent it.
Braces like knee braces, wrist braces. If you know that you have a weak area in your body, then you need to make sure you take care of that. It's all about supporting yourself. Razor blades, you never know when you're going to have to get something cut off pretty fast. Markers, matches, candles, lighter and lighter fluid, lime, twine, hair bows, cooling kit. We've got several cooling kits up here. These are the ones that you crack and they get cold.
These are the gels.
And on the opposite flip side of that, we also have the hand warmers, the warming kits. Because whenever you're working outside and it's freezing cold, you're going to need something to keep yourself warm just beside your clothes.
And that's where this comes in too, right?
This can help prevent hypothermia. These are emergency blankets. Everybody needs some kind of emergency blanket in the kit. Earplugs. It can also aid in sleep, and earplugs can also drown out some severe noises. We've got eye wash cup and lubricating eye drops. You never know when somebody's going to get something in their eye. You got to have this stuff around, especially with kids playing outside. You never know, pieces of grass or twigs, whatever, break off from trees. You got to be able to flush some stuff out your eyes. Nose spray on the flip side with that. You're going to have people with allergies in your group, and you got to be able to flush that stuff out of there. Plus, that's where MRSA lives, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. And that lives up inside the nose, and you have to actually wash the nasal cavities out to make sure that it's not rapidly growing. And the more that you cleanse, the more likely you're not going to spread the infection to others. Again, that goes with hand sanitizing. Q-tips, a lovely supply of toilet paper, spare glasses, working gloves, safety glasses, flashlights, forceps, dental supplies. Again, that goes with what we said earlier, temporary filling kits. Betadine, as I said earlier, because You're not supposed to cleanse wounds with alcohol and peroxide. You really need to be doing that with saline and betadine. Ziploc bags. You never know when you're going to have it. Steri strips, butterfly bandages. We also have some of those up here. Super glue, surgical glue. It's best to have like the surgical glue. They've got the liquid band-aids out if you're going to have to use it on a cut. And if you know that you're going to be working with something dangerous, you're going to be working in a field where people do get hurt, you do need some type of tourniquet. They have the CAT tourniquets that you can get. Those are the combat tourniquets. You can get them online for like $14 or so on eBay, and those are used to actually cut the blood supply off so you can staple them. As far as everything goes up here, we've covered most of it. We do have some alcohol swabs up here and some iodine preps. And we also have a pen light. This is to check pupillary reflexes, and you can check orifices, you can check the throat, the ears, what have you. Just a little help in seeing what you might not be able to see with just the naked eye. Also with some of the kids, chest rub, just to help breathing. And like I said, this is just a small list of stuff that you can use. This is not everything that you're going to have because believe me, you need to be a little bit more prepared than this. But this is just some stuff that you may or may not think of. Epsom salts up here too. This can also help. You can soak your feet in this. This can help also with it's a laxative too. So there's many uses for all of this stuff that's on the table. You can do basically whatever your imagination sets out to do.
Thanks for letting me help you.
Anytime, and hopefully this will help you guys be able to be a little bit more prepared.
So we hope this has been a help to you, and just keep in mind that these are some of the medical preps that you might not have had wrote down on a list, but are very important to have put back and are very easy to obtain. So make sure to check back with us in the future for other medical videos as we get time to produce them. And until we see you again, have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.